I was very stressed. Now isn't the time for me to start talking about appointments 5 p.m. the following day when I've got a flight at 7 a.m. in the morning. Consultation fee was £200, but I did not care one bit at this point because I just wanted to get treatment so I can make my flight the next day. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy King Kai, and in today's video we're talking about emergency funds. I know it's been a long time since I last made one of these videos. I've been traveling and I've been dealing with some family situation which I'm sure I'm going to be talking about in the near future. Listen, do not skip away from this video because I'm sure by the end of this video you're going to learn a thing or two that's going to help you in your financial journey. But for now, we're going to go straight into the video so I can explain how an emergency fund actually works and how it could be a lifesaver for your finances. So what is an emergency fund? An emergency fund, in my opinion, is money set aside for unexpected expenses. So let me give you an example. 4 months ago, I was out with some friends and we were having dinner. Halfway through the dinner, I had a broken tooth. Bear in mind, the next day I was supposed to be traveling, and here I am dealing with a dental issue. I was very stressed. I wasn't stressed because of the finances, I was stressed because of the timing of the situation. This is where my emergency fund came very handy. So what did I start doing? I started calling up every dentist I can think of, and they all kept telling me, come back the next day, we'll get it fixed, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, I don't have time. The next day I was supposed to be traveling. Now isn't the time for me to start talking about appointments 5 p.m. the following day when I've got a flight at 7 a.m. in the morning. So once I realized that wasn't gonna work, so the next thing I did was call up 111, which is the emergency services here in the UK. They basically referred me to some dentist somewhere in South London. And bear in mind, I'm still having dinner with some people. So this was a very uncomfortable situation. Anyway, beggars can't be choosers. So I drove all the way to South London, and trust me, the service was terrible, just like I expected. Fast forward, I left that dentist, start calling up other private services in Hayley Street. For those of you that live in London, you know Hayley Street is not to be messed with when it comes to emergencies. I called up one of the dental practices and they booked me in straight away, and the consultation fee for that was £200. Guys, consultation fee was £200. But I did not care one bit at this point because I just wanted to get treatment so I can make my flight the next day. Anyway, I went up to Hayley Street, paid the £200, and I had a conversation with one of the dentists there who said to me that this is definitely sortable and they were going to sort it out before my trip. But the bad news is it was going to cost me £800. So as you can imagine, I was pissed. I was 100% pissed, but at the same time, I've got an emergency savings. Even though these were extortionate prices, I was just happy that at least I can get treatment today before my trip. Took that money off my emergency funds, gave it to them, I had my treatment, and the next day I was on my way to my holiday. So this is one of the significance of an emergency fund. I know some of you are wondering, how much money do I need to save? Well, this depends entirely on yourself. In some cases, some people are big spenders. In my case, for instance, I'm a small spender, but with a bigger emergency fund. And the reason for that is because I tend to panic easily, especially when it comes to finances. So to kind of combat me not going into that red territory, I would always make sure I save a lot of money. So if something like an unexpected bill comes, I'm not going to panic because I know I've got a bigger emergency fund. But this is how you should calculate your emergency funds. So I need you to list down all of your priority bills. And when I say priority bills, I'm not referring to you going out and eating takeaways. I'm not referring to you meeting up with friends 3 times a month. I'm talking about things that you need to sustain you for the rest of the month. Those are your priority. So list them all up, and whatever the total is, that is your emergency fund, my friend. So what you need to do now is this. Let's say your priority bills come up to about $1,500 a month. So now you need to save up 1,500 times 3 or 1,500 times 6. In my case, I saved up 1,500 times 12. And the reason for that is I like to have a bigger buffer. And that is how you get your emergency funds. So now let's talk about the danger of not having an emergency fund. Now, I'm going to give you two scenarios. Let's just say we have option A and option B. Option A, we're going to call him Adam. And option B, we're going to call her Lucy, right? So Adam makes £3,000 a month. Lucy makes £7,000 a month. Okay, that's a bit unrealistic. Let's go back to the numbers. Okay, Adam makes £2,500 a month. Lucy makes £3,000 a month. Adam saves 40% of his salary every month. Lucy doesn't save anything at all. However, Lucy lives the life. Like, I'm talking bougie lifestyle. She's always out partying. She's always out eating with friends, and she orders pretty much every single day. Now, Adam doesn't do any of that. Adam and Lucy both have an emergency at the moment, right? Adam's got about £2,000 saved up. Lucy, on the other hand, doesn't have anything saved up. And it's nearly at the end of the month, and they both have an emergency. Guess who is going to struggle the most? Guys, I don't need to spell this out. You all know Lucy is going to be the one struggling, even though Lucy is the one making the most money. But this is why it's quite significant to know that your salary is not the problem. Some people like Adam makes less, however, he prioritizes an emergency fund. Whereas Lucy, that makes more money, doesn't prioritize at all because she believes that she makes more and she's going to have enough even if an emergency pops up. But the problem here is they both have an emergency at the end of the month. Lucy has to wait for her salary to come through, whereas Adam doesn't need to do that. So now you see what the problem is. An emergency fund basically just acts as a buffer to help Adam in particularly, who has been saving all of this month and is at a point now where he can actually pay for his emergency bill. So now this is why an emergency fund is quite significant. As I always say, I'm not going to make this video long. I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to leave the comment section open for debate. Let's talk about how you saved an emergency fund and how much it is that you save for your emergency fund. We're going to end the video here. This is your boy King Kai, and once again, thank you very much for tuning into this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so YouTube can then recommend this video to other viewers that this may be beneficial to. Thanks for watching. Peace.